Welcome to the Generic Management 4 workshop with Chartwell Business College. We have been discussing the management process and we have covered planning, organizing, and now we cover leading in the management process. In this session, we will cover 3 unit standards, 119462, 119472, which would deal with fundamental language skills about how you engage with an audience in an oral or in a presentation way, and then 242, 819, how to motivate and build a team. Language is pivotal in how we make requests of people in order to get them to follow us. Language is therefore not some passive or descriptive activity we engage in, but language generates action. Learning how to make effective requests may make us more effective managers. And you might be wondering, how does language generate action? Well, if I asked you to stand up, you would stand up. And just by using language, I've generated an action. We'll cover more of that as we go along. As I said earlier on, we are looking at the third step in the management process of leading. Who will do it and by when? How do we choose the right person for the task? What are the consequences of choosing the wrong person? How would the outcomes affect the company and the individual and you, the manager? So, why is it important to motivate staff? Well, people who are motivated are enthused. Enthusiasm is infectious. Can you imagine if all your staff were enthusiastic about what they were doing? What would your department be like to work in? What effect would it have on the other business units and the company as a whole? If we agree that language is generative, then, dependent on what we have said and how we have said it, we can create the mood to act. My understanding of the word motivation is that it is made up of the words motive to take action. In other words, give them a reason to act with passion and conviction. Managers need to be able to sell the vision and convey the meaning and relevance of the task being done, so that the person feels that their role and contribution makes a difference in the grand scheme of the organization. What would be the benefits of having motivated staff? And these could also be deemed as indicators of motivation. And they are the following: improved productivity, better quality of work, and staff are more likely to initiate solutions. Team spirit becomes more tangible and results in less stress and conflict. How do managers motivate others? When we speak about people with a high IQ, we are talking about someone who is intelligent, the intelligent quotient, IQ. It has now become apparent that even more important than that is people having a high EQ, emotional quotient. In other words, being aware of oneself and being aware and mature in our emotional responses to ourselves and others. The first steps are self-knowledge. This is achieved by self-reflection, truthful self-analysis, and becoming comfortable and accepting that we have strengths and weaknesses, and these present opportunities or threats. Taking responsibility to enhance our strengths and overcome our weaknesses is an emotionally mature response. Knowing your staff and encouraging their growth and supporting them to overcome their weaknesses through discussion and observation and encouraging open dialogue for all the parties builds trust and paves the way to mature relationships, which leads to motivated staff. But when we discover that we have some areas to develop, how do we go about creating a plan? We need to do what we would term a SWOT analysis. This self-analysis deals with your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threat. And that's a tool that's widely used in business, but we need to personalize it. We're evaluating our strengths and weaknesses and our opportunities and threats. Once we identify our areas to be developed, we must formulate a development plan by asking the questions found in the table and writing down our responses, and then formulating or finding the solution and taking measurable action within a time frame. So, we would ask the question, what do we want to have happen? And in this example, improve our presentation skills. And then we'd ask ourselves the question, why? Because we want to give more confidence and help inspire people. How are we going to do that? Well, maybe we have to ask the HR department to do a presentation or provide a skills course. Where would we do that? In the training room, or maybe we have to go to a course, or maybe we get a mentor allocated to us, and then by when, so we have some finite end to the process. Laying out a plan like this is part of what we call having SMART goals. It's an acronym for specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, and time-framed.